wine. It's simply crushed and fermented grapes. The variations in the stories are what make it so fascinating. There are so many varieties of grapes, and then different clones and different rootstocks. And the stories behind the wines are as lush and beautiful as the wines themselves. Our goal at Crushed Grape Chronicles is to explore and chronicle the grape, its many stories, and its journey from dirt to glass.
So this was the new piece of property that we purchased in 2013.
Gotcha.
That I was talking about earlier. So there was a fence right here and a wall of trees.
Wow.
And so this is the 2 acres of Trousseau Noir. And everyone that has a grow tube, those grafts have taken.
Oh, gotcha.
And so
Okay.
everything's growing inside there.
Perfect.
The vines that don't have a grow tube, they haven't, the vines haven't pushed quite enough yet for him to put a grow tube on. So the wine that's in your glass is a Syrah Viognier co-ferment from Southern Oregon. This is Applegate Valley.
Applegate, okay.
So it's same as the Grenache as far as fermented in clay and half aged in clay, half aged in neutral wood, and then brought back together at the end.
Gotcha.
So this little one in the front is one of the first ones that he made that first year in 2013. So you'll see where he marked the year, the vintage year, and the number of pot. So this was made in 2014. So that's always, that little one was in 2013. And so they progressively got bigger. He trialed different shapes, different sizes as it related to region of origin, but also intention in what he was going to use from the fruit perspective. So some of these with a more narrow bottom and the higher neck, he likes to ferment Pinot Gris because the cap will come up and kind of roll in on itself, and then the seeds and skins will head down towards the bottom, and then you have less of a surface area from which to get the
so it works
tannins.
a little more like the traditional eggs would with the way that the cap will roll in.
So that does, absolutely. The eggs have a wider lees bottom.
Right.
Isn't what he wants to use for the Pinot Gris.
Gotcha.
Because you have a bigger surface area in which to extract tannin from the skins and the seeds. So by packing it down at the bottom, it's also creating its own sulfide, so it's creating its own protection.
Oh, that's great.
So all of the vessels in the back row still have Pinot Gris in there from the 2017 vintage. It has not been pressed. It's still on the skins and seeds. And then all of the Tinaja shape vessels here that have the lids on them have Pinot Noir in them.
Gotcha.
So all of that Pinot Noir was actually fermented in these vessels.
Okay.
And then once it was pressed, it went in there.
Went into those.
And you'll taste a Vermentino that we made here in just a minute. And it was because of the Firestone in Southern Oregon, we didn't do any skin contact with it. So it was pressed off right away. And the pressed white juice starts off in those Tinaja shape jars, and then it moves to stainless steel when the Pinot Noir is ready to go in there.
Gotcha.
And then the large one was one of the biggest ones he made. That's about 200, almost 200 gallons. And so that was the clay body he made in 2014. And all of these other open top ones, so he will ferment in them, but he doesn't like aging in them.
Gotcha. So they age in the other ones?
And they age in the new clay body that he made in 2015.
Gotcha.
We have a friend who we loaned some to, and he loves this clay. Like he likes that.
That's his
impact,
style.
and that's his style. And so you see a difference in the color too. That's a difference in firing temperature.
Oh,
so you see the ones in the back almost look like they're wet. They're kind of have a sheen.
Yeah.
Those are fired at a lower temperature. Where these ones up here, he's fired them in 15-degree increments. And so you get less oxygen exchange the hotter it's fired.
Okay.
So that purple one over there was just fired too hot. So it's vitrified. It's like glass.
Oh, I see.
So it's very reductive, where the ones that are fired at a lower temperature are more oxidative, but not not oxidative in a bad way. They're just
Right.
really expressive. The wines are exposed to more oxygen from the beginning.
Right.
And you can see the difference in those wines. And he likens it to using, a very toasted oak barrel to a neutral barrel, in that the wines express themselves very differently.
Wow.
He's not necessarily adding a flavor, but
Right. No.
how they're coming up is
Yeah.
in a different environment. So, and then we let Rudy borrow one 2 vintages ago, and then we just didn't get it back the last vintage.
Oh, yeah.
His winemaker's
Yeah.
like, oh, I already put something in theirs. I see how that works.
He seemed very excited to hopefully have some
Of the new
vessels.
ones, yeah.
Yes, of the new ones. He was very excited about that.
Yeah, so he held on to it. I think he has 3 on order.